Well, finding out and then doing this. Actually, that's not. After I entered all this, well, I already entered it, but I wanted to not get erased, so I hit the arrow button to smash this stuff into the, into the site, so it's on there. Took screenshots. That was after doing all the documentation of the psychic ability stuff, and then after doing that, immediate. So that was one after the other. So I finished the documentation, psychic stuff about a few minutes ago. Then I did I didn't type all this. This is already typed up, but I wanted to. I had it set on this. I mean, I entered this in, but I hadn't entered it. Like I had typed it in, but I hadn't entered it. Like I hadn't sent it to the site yet. I didn't. Yeah, I had input it into the. Sent it through. So I sent it through, so it's in there. So that took about like a few seconds, right? And then typed in psychic autistic. After going to one of my subscribers, or was a previous subscriber, this guy, Captain Kilo. Thank you, my man. He might unsubscribe something. He might still be there. That's cool. Either way, it's fine. Or the AI might have knocked him out. The algorithm, out. Sometimes you lose subscribers with that. And the first thing I come up, I typed this in Whammo 3 months ago. This is incredible. So I haven't uploaded anything about psychic abilities until today. So I've been doing this the past past couple of hours, you could say, I guess. What time did I get up? I got up like 10. So I've been up like around. So it's about like 5 or 6 hours. I'm gonna have to try to go get the mail, but they changed stuff. So I had to do other kind of work, and I think it was about like maybe the past 3 hours I've been with the psychic stuff. After all the documentation, now I'm looking up because I determined, hey, I have psychic powers, or I'm psychic. What did I exactly? I have psychic powers. I think I said that about 2 hours ago. Officially established realization. Because I mean, throughout life I might have thought I was psychic, but I never really focused on it. So we have this. I'm gonna look at this one. That must be it. I have telepathic powers. It's telepathy. That happened at the library a long time ago. It's a test. It's only a test. Telepathy. That was the word the MSNBC reporter girl didn't know how to say. She would say, she's like, telepathy, do I have it? No, I definitely don't have it, she said, paraphrasing. Oh God. It must be true. I have telepathy. I don't know. Well, I kind of know what it is. My God, I have telepathy. Let's find out what telepathy is. I was in the IT field. Kind of makes sense. Let's see. Where's psychic? Okay. My God, I have telepathic powers. That would actually explain it. So it's not really psychic powers. It's actually telepathy, maybe. Well, let's find out. Cause look at this guy even saying. Salvant. There's the word salvant. That's what I've been calling myself most of the time. Until like today. Mainly. Again, mainly because I might have said psychics. A couple of sprinkled before, previously in my lifetime. Psychic ability then. Got it. I got it. My mind with other gluemates and deciding and thinking on this. Kind of accumulating.
psychiatrist who began researching, they're called autistic savants. Brilliant young children who are suffering from autism. And she determined through a series of tests that they have remarkable psychic skills.
Yeah.
No, is it? She wrote a book about it called the ESP Enigma. And this is the point I'm getting to, Zen. The psychiatric profession in the state of Oregon, where she was, said, this lady is obviously crazy. And they took away her psychiatric
That's what Chris called me. Called me Chris.
license because she wrote a book about her research. That's how serious the opposition is. For example, my friend Diane Hennessy Powell is a psychiatrist who began research.
I don't know exactly what he's saying. I'm trying to get exactly what he's saying. It's so exhausting with me documentation on that, so my mind's kind of like in a kind of tired with all the gloomate. Let me put this in this one.
Researching, they're called autistic savants.
Okay, it's starting up again. All right. Let's see what the comment is. True, but not all of them. That is so true. All right. Who's in that?
For example, my friend Diane Hennessy Powell is a psychiatrist who began research.
My recent, very recent. Okay, here we go.
Sometimes when I'm talking to someone, they'll say something that reminds me of one of the characters in my mind, so I'll ask them questions to see if they're similar, and people are like, oh my god, how do you know so much about me? I don't. I'm not psychic. I'm delusional.
Okay. This guy, autistic, he could be autistic. He sounds like a psychopath. Yeah, it's something about the way his eyes are so wide and he's doing the thing. Yeah, I think he's autistic. The sensory overload. What are the comments? Because they're not like showing up. Let's see. Okay, no, this guy's definitely autistic. Let's see.
Sometimes when I'm talking to someone, they'll say something that reminds me of one of the characters in my mind, so I'll ask them questions to see if they're similar, and people are like, oh my god, how do you know so much about me? I don't. I'm not psychic. I'm delusional.
No, you're not delusional. You're simply going by information you know about. The individual in his mind is because he's researched it, he's seen it, it's not delusional. He remembers. The characters are from characters he's met before or read about. No, it's coming from, I can comment. I believe it's things you are remembering or experience, not delusion. No, maybe. Yeah, it could be maybe sometimes. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's get a screenshot of this baby. Yeah, he's got the look. He's got a psychopath. I mean, if he uses it in a negative, he could be a psychopath. I mean, he could eventually become. Could become a psychopath. You never know. I am really, I'm gonna, okay, what I'm gonna do, alright, let's go to Rogan, and then I'll stop this because I need to rest up. My mind is
delicious.
totally full right
How's
now.
your food, by the way?
It's totally full. The glutamate is, yeah. So I need a rest period to empty out the stuff.
I'm in there.
CIA.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Did you have a preconceived notion of telepathy or spiritual gifts or anything before this?
No, I mean, I think like a lot of people, it's like the idea of mediums and psychics, it felt like people that are often trying to just make money off of people in really vulnerable situations.
Yeah.
And I've always believed certainly there's got to be people who have certain gifts like that, you know, but that the vast majority could.
Certain is false word. So since I have these psychic telepathic abilities, does that mean these false words really are false words? What does even telepathy mean? Alright, since I'm recording this, that's cool. This is really good documentation. What is telepathy? Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep recording when I'm doing this kind of research. I'm gonna make a rest period, which has nothing to do with telepathy. I mean, I hope not. Well, I'm not gonna say I hope not, but all right. Oh my gosh, this could explain why sometimes I feel like I'm affecting somebody else's behavior. Actually, I don't really think that. Yeah, I think that, but I don't really think of them me affecting their behavior. It's more like I think I'm communicating with them. Let me see. ESP, interesting. I think it's simply, they're simply reading it, but they're not, they're reading it, but it's not like they're communicating with them. Let me see. No, I think what happens is, this is, what it could simply be is, you're hearing it. In other words, the super hearing. You're simply perceiving, you're sensing this thing, but it's not like you're actually transferring thoughts to the other individual. But I mean, you could be transferring thoughts in this form of like body language, if that's what you mean. But that's like through body language. So yeah, you're transferring your thought via body language, but they have to be looking at you or hearing you. But it's talking about by means other than known senses. Here we go with the telepathy. Great, so I'm telepathic. Like what? Professor X. Origins of the concept. Thought reading. This would kind of, with the book, it's only a test. So Dad and Bro must be really lying. Their lying must be. I'll know. I'm little by little. I'm getting the answers I need. I'm like backing him into a corner to the point where he can't lie. Well, I mean, he can't. Where he get? Yeah, that's right. That could be a false word there. See, I'm thinking false word here and there or whatever, but. Telepathy, change, latent, retrospective motives. Okay. I mean, I basically know what autism. Oh my gosh, autism telepathy. Oh, here we go. Great, telepathic superpowers. That's great. Now I'm Professor X. I'm Professor X. I'm Jean, or are you Jean Grey? I'm definitely not Jean Grey. No way. She's a bad guy. Bad girl. Well, she turns into a bad girl. Oh my gosh, so that's great. I'm Professor X.
It's an insight specifically.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my. I already got stilts, right? So I'm halfway there. With my leg disabled, kind of on the right leg. Yeah, yeah. All I have to do is come cripple. No, not cripple. No, that's not fun. That's not fun. All right. Cool down, breathe, relax. Look at this is what keeps me sane. My symbolism. My signage keeps me sane.
For neurodivergent people, specifically autistic people, you may not understand, but the thing that's taxing on your nervous system is being in a constant state of presence. This is
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're like always on. It won't shut off. I think this happened, like what Bro says, like happens during like high school. The ability won't shut off. It's like you're
Elevated state of consciousness,
like quartering. Look at the way.
which I don't think you realize. But this is going to mean more synthesizing of information.
Wow. Okay, so that,
Your nervous system. Being present means that you take on more of your surroundings.
Yeah, so that's why I know Bro and Dad are definitely lying.
You are aware of more. There's more.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm definitely autistic. My God, I really do have superpowers. This means I definitely do have superpowers. It's a superpower. The awareness. My God, they don't have it. This is what the NTs don't have. They don't have this ability. I finally found out why they are the way they are. Simply from, okay. I know this about, yes, we're always on, but it's like, we have more information going on. Somehow the way she's saying it, I don't know. It's like somehow the way she's presenting I'm sorry.
More information going into your system. Okay, this is taxing
Yeah.
on the nervous system because
First, let me subscribe to this cube and like. So we subscribe. We are. Okay.
our systems are not that upgraded. We're in a janky
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
sort of
That should explain.
hardware,
Uh-huh.
and so having all
Yeah, the glutamate.
of this information come in at once is going to feel taxing. That's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about
Yeah, the eyes. It's the eyes.
is why meditation
That's why I like going to resorts and relax.
in the traditional
One of the reasons I like freedom.
sense is not exactly for us. It's not really designed for us, but also why we don't really need it. Meditation is sort of the goal of it in the traditional sense is to get you to a state of presence in the body, a state of presence which brings forth the awareness of your higher essence, which is that kind of calm, serene observer state.
Yeah, that's where my signage is. That's what my signage
Well, it's
is.
very likely that you live in that state. It's very likely that you've always lived in that state, which is why the world is very, very confusing, because living in that state will give you a different set of notions and a different set of experiences than being completely not present in your body or in your life. Breakthrough that comes in meditation for a lot of people is that, okay, here's what you can do in meditation. You can go a lot further, but you're not going to see a lot of instruction manuals out there about how to do it, because the main point for a lot of people is to get to that
I think it looks like she's in some kind of spa or
state of
something.
presence.
Or she works in a spa maybe?
And that state
I think she works in a spa or something.
of sort of rest and tranquility in the body.
I'm trying to understand what she said before about something is not for us. So I'm going to go back there.
That we achieve
It's been about like a minute ago or something.
actually really quite easily, and it's the friction of the outside world that makes that difficult to maintain. What you can do in these sorts of meditations is dimensionally travel. You can go outside of your body. You can explore the cosmos. I'm not kidding you. You'll be able to psychically explore anywhere you like, and most autistic people that I've ever met are unknowingly channels. They just have a clear open channel and they don't even know it. We also really benefit from movement. This moves around energy and sort of allows you to expand.
Okay, she's going the spiritual, psychic, where I'm kind of, you know, that kind of, I'm not gonna say gobbledygook, it's not gobbledygook, but she's going that spiritual realm of spiritualism. So let me, and I know that kind of talk, kind of, so,
exploration, if you're at that
yeah, so it's like people on high, on drugs, they kind of talk this way, which is fine.
where
Nothing wrong with that.
you're sort of in the present state all the time. This isn't.
Let me go back. She said something very, it's very interesting to me here. Let's see if I
Can give you a hugely vibrant and expansive experience compared to just going on a walk. It doesn't have to just be that, and for you,
so using a lot of false words, just a problem. Well, only two.
it probably isn't already. So just know that there's sort of infinite exploration if you're at that point where you're sort of in the present state all the time. This is an insight specifically for.
No. Wow, that looks.
Specifically for neurodivergent people, specifically autistic people. You may not understand, but you are aware of more. There's more information going into your system, okay? This is taxing on this. Our systems are not that up at once. It's going to feel taxing. That's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is why meditation in the traditional sense is not exactly for us. It's not really designed for us, but also why we don't really need it. Meditation is sort of the goal of it in the traditional sense is to get you to a state of presence in the body, a state of presence which brings.
Okay, this is what I don't understand. So she seems to be saying meditation is not for autistics, yet she's trying to bring meditation to autistics. I don't get it. So let me kind of. I hope it's not her brain is frying.
Forth the awareness of.
I hope this might be where it flips. Sometimes with autistics, they're meaning. What they're saying might be the opposite, and they don't mean to be. They're not lying. It's simply they don't realize.
Your higher essence, which is that kind of calm, serene observer state. Well, it's very likely that you live in that state. It's very likely that you've always lived in that state, which is why the world is very, very confusing. Because living in that state will give you a different set of notions and a different.
So
set
interestingly, I don't know what she's saying with the rest of the video. Not really. I don't really, but the first part got me to realize, yeah. Put my head in. So the thing is, yeah, that's it. They don't the awareness all flooding in. That's, I mean, you hear about this. It's a sensory overload, but somehow the way she's saying it made me realize. It's interesting, isn't it? The way people's gonna say things. You have all the influence when it's actually presented, and then you know sit back and you're like, wow. And when you're hearing it, that's interesting, isn't it? So me keep telling Dad these me when I'm telling Dad things, some particular things, unless I actually go up to him and he sees my body language, and then he'll really get it. That's interesting, isn't it? The presentation, very interesting. Maybe that's it. They don't believe in the climate change and all that because it's not simply the facts. It's not even it's not even an experience. It's the presentation of the information. But anyway, the way so they don't have, well, this is real. They don't have our abilities. They don't have the perception of awareness. This would answer my question. I've been trying to figure, one of the ones I'm trying to figure out today. Why they drive the way they do. Why they do the things they do, especially with the driving. Because it doesn't bother them. They're not perceiving everything at once. The sounds, the noises, they don't see it. They really don't see it. I think maybe I was thinking that maybe it was simply, it's not tongue-in-cheek. I can't say I never really believed my abilities, but I didn't know how true it was. I didn't know how extensive it was. In other words, I didn't understand how real it was. So they really can't do what I can do. They really can't. When I say they as in the neurotypicals, they really can't do what I can do. They can't do it. They can't do what I do. So the fertilizer might give them the ability to do what I can do. They can't. they don't have the awareness I have. So it really is a power. That would explain why people, even, what's Raymond? Yeah, Raymond, that's his name. And my teacher Lisa, they, whenever they wanted, well, with Lisa was my links. She loved my links on my website, and she knew about my Asian American site, which was so funny. She was so nonchalant about it. Actually, it wasn't nonchalant. Yeah, she was nonchalant about when she was explained to me, and here it's blowing my mind. It's like the whole church and you, college, and everyone knows about my site. This was the infancy of the World Wide Web. And then Raymond, who TK's, buddy to buy all the, hipster kind of cool Shaban, kind of like that David Copperfield kind of, kind of guy is like cool and collected. He's asking me on how to, asking me to find something for him, which I found quite astounding and very prestigious and very uplifting and tickled my fancy, and I found very very inspirational. And what's the word? I was quite joyed. It was beyond joy. This feeling was of amazement, astoundment, and confidence lifting. I felt very, I guess the word is proud. How do you say it? I felt high. Yeah, I felt really high when he told me that. I felt like I I got an award. I felt like I had been given a leveling up. Literally, it's like you got a raise kind of in reputation. Incredible. I loved it. And I have to thank Raymond for when I finally left the company. Well, I had officially in my mind decided that actually what happened, what was it? Yeah, that I finally gotten the answer I always wanted. Not about leaving the company, but it was about finally getting the answer what I wanted. And then realizing that I could, that it would be that if I wanted to leave I could. I'm trying to exactly think what was the thought when I said. I remember when I said I don't say argue, when it was in a heated discussion with TK, let's say, and then when he left he goes, "What are you, stupid?" He was saying to TK, and I smiled because I'm working on it, and I slowly smiled without looking up because I could see him on the side. "What are you, stupid?" Did you? He was about 30 feet away when he said that. TK's office. Yeah, TK's office would be okay. It would be there, and then Raymond's. And I smiled because that's the answer I wanted. I was wanting confirmation of whether TK was stupid or not. And yeah, he got it. Raymond says you're stupid, your buddy, and then he's stupid. All this he was working there, I finally got confirmation. And then I'm trying to decide. So is that when I decide I can leave now? Maybe. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe I did. I was like, okay, I got subconsciously paraphrasing him. Finally got confirmation, and I said, no, I don't think in my mind I thought leave. Maybe subconsciously, but because I didn't leave until I was still with the company technically. I was still with them for about maybe, technically with the company I think at least a year, because at one point I told TK I would, I could do it at home, the work. So I was at home work. It's literally I'm working at home. But eventually, I'm trying to exactly what happened. With the thing. I forget the actual details how, but eventually there were papers involved which officially designated me as that the designee filed, and which he signed up on, as that I was laid off. So that would be officially when I was laid off. I'm imagining that's the way it went. Imagine that's the way it went. I don't remember. All I know is I was working at home trying to do all the bids and stuff, and yeah. Alright. So where are we? Back to the we're talking about psychic abilities, right? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they can't do what we can do. They really can't do what we can do. So it's all about my perception. So is bro and dad lying? They have to be lying, because everything I'm sensing is them lying. Everything they're saying doesn't match up. So now the last question I asked him, are you saying that bro wasn't, I mean, it could be, if he is saying that, which it seems to be, that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying that bro came over, it must be, because it had to match with another thing, that bro came over, and then as he's, I'm assuming, like standing there answering the questions, and then bro's writing the email. Okay, that must be the way. But yeah, so I'm getting clarity. But some of the other previous answers, it's like it kind of doesn't, the answers that bro answered in that email that he's answering, they don't line up with the other stuff. So like there's a lot of convolution and stuff that doesn't match up. And the fact that he's not so forthcoming and answers my father and my brother with all of this, even currently. I mean, he's answering sometimes he answers the question, sometimes he doesn't. So it's like the stuff he leaves out or doesn't answer, that's very telling. Again, I might not have mentioned in this video, but it's the 2%. The 2% of what I don't know of the world. Once I get that 2%, I think I've said this kind of stuff. It's like once I know this and that, but like now that I'm becoming so aware more and more, and more education, research, and skill, it's like there would be this epiphany. I'm like, trying to remember the last time that happened. Was it the moon lie? Yeah, I think with the moon lie, there was like, okay, now I get why they're not doing this. Now it matches up why they don't say this, why they're acting this way, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about even, I mean, that's already super mind-blowing, profound. But like, I'm talking about like something more, I mean, that's a lie, right? So that's, but I'm talking like something even more profound than simply a lie. Something that I'm perceiving that's like real. You see what I'm saying? So not contingent or about a lie, but like something simply on perception alone, without lies. I think one of them would be maybe the woke stuff. Yeah, woke isn't. Oh, that could be a lie too. You know, other people are saying woke. No, I mean, no, I like woke, but they're saying they don't like woke and stuff. Okay, that's a thing. But that may be drawn from a lie in that they're trying to hide the skeletons, right? And does that make sense? No. Yeah, I think, okay. How about driving? Seeing them drive. Okay, yeah, maybe that's the thing. Yeah, I'm talking about perception. Okay, seeing people drive the way they do already. It's like, yeah, seeing people like the way they walk, the way they present themselves. Yeah, even that the anti-woke stuff. Simply seeing it, and you know, it's not that they're lying. They really don't like woke, right? So it's not lying. They're not saying, "Oh no, I really do." No, most of them are saying that. Say they don't like woke means they don't. That's mind blowing. Yeah. Okay. So I gotta rest my brain because of all the glutamates. With her, she's, yeah, it's perception. They really can't perceive. So now another, I guess. Well, I guess that's another ability, perception. I'm finding out psychic and telepathic. That's still perception, right? Psychic. Yeah. So, but this is like, no, this is like another. This is like another level to, or another. This is like an extra variable to it. So it's not simply like a one-time thing with the psychic and telepathic. This is like my entire perceptional world. So it's like being psychic and autistic. I mean, psychic and telepathic constantly, but that's not. It's like that, but what I'm saying is, I'm not that though. So it's similar, but in this awareness thing of talking about overall perception. So my overall awareness and stuff, the psychic and like what I said before, right, in this video, where I had to sit down and think about it. exactly. But what she's talking about is, I guess you call it peripheral perception, not even peripheral, passive perception. Exactly. What condition I'm in most of the time. They don't have it. They don't have it. And I know because it really didn't kick in until high school around. That's pretty much, I pretty much felt kind of normal. But it was like something happened. I don't know if it was the dilation liquid. If the dilation liquid turned me autistic. But what might have happened is, yeah, maybe if she spilled that many on a regular neurotypical, it wouldn't have affected them the way I do. So that's another thing. So it's not that, yeah, it's because my condition that affected the way I do. But it's still dangerous. Don't get your eyes dilated. Unless you, well, I won't even say unless you have to, because I know they're saying that, unless you definitely know that you need to. It's going to weaken your eye muscles. There's a risk of glaucoma. If you need to see the behind the eyes so much, I don't know. It would be, if we would have to, it would be, I don't know. I really don't know that what kind of instant would you would definitely need to see. I don't know. I don't know the metrics for that yet. So all I know is if you can do it where you don't get a dilation, don't. It gets to the point where you think you can avoid it and everything's be okay. Basic, mainly overall. Yeah, I don't want to use that basic word. Sounds like basic government thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. So what we got confirmed is what we have. Well, so confirm. What we have confirmed is the awareness thing. As for the psychic and telepathic powers, I'm still researching it. But apparently, that would explain a lot. So if I actually have telepathy in the sci-fi way, that means I actually can transmit thoughts directly. And I'm talking like directly as in like not even with body language or with visual cues or audio cues, but literally in the meme sense, meme on the stereotypical sense, literally simply per se transfers thoughts to another individual. Wow. That's why I always think I got to be very careful to what I think of, especially when I'm around people and when people are near me, because that would explain a lot. If I really have telepathic powers, my gosh, then that means I can integrate this in the story. I could actually telepathically get someone. This is like that movie. What's that movie? It's like even Star Wars, with what they call it. I'm not gonna call the name of the power because that might be a false word, but what do they call it? They call it the thread now. Spoilers. Sorry, but yeah, they call it the thread now. Well, in one iteration of Star Wars, using the thread, they can. And this is all based on spoilers of the Dune book. I think it's kind of racist when they think, I'm white. It's kind of like a white uppity kind of thing, and it's like whatever I say, you will do. We're Prince for royalty, man. That's paraphrasing, or that's kind of the perception of getting. Those aren't the exact words they use, but it's implied. It's all that the whiteness with the small micro talk. I call it. There's another call it micro communication or something. So they can protect all their vast fortunes. So they have to speak in code. It's like a small code. Yeah. Why can't they explain it? That's a good question. So why can't they? There's so much to protect. Why can't they simply? I think that's it, because they would talk so much. They have so much that they have to keep explaining. So they have to use short-term language to explain it. That must be a balance. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. So it's the same thing as the acronym CIA and all that stuff. Shortened form of the whole thing, exactly, because they do so much that to explain it all, they can't. Same thing with the emojis and the internet, grammar and the way we shorten things. Like instead of like the way I say C as in C, the U as in U. Yeah, slang, short-term slang, and what's it called when you do shortened form? Yeah, shortened form. That's it. Okay. Okay, so the takeaway is awareness. So now I know when I interact with them, they really can't perceive what I'm doing. It happened at the Best Buy. The Best Buy, I was I was telling the lady about a conversation I heard, or something I was heard or saw behind her while we were talking, and she said, "Oh, you actually sense that, or you actually sense that, or something." So wow, it's like having different tracks on at the same time, and you can read them all. Wow. But again, it's like it kicked in high school. I felt pretty much normal for high school. Actually, before the dilation happened during college. Yeah, it wasn't high school, it was college. College was when it smacked up. I think, I'm trying to remember, was it exactly after the dilation? My God. It could be, my gosh, because my eyes with all the light, and it won't shut off, kind of. My God, yeah, it's like, my God, maybe I'm completely dilated. Well, I guess that's official then. Maybe the dilation gave me autism. Oh my God. With this, okay, whoever's watching this, be very careful with this information, because now people, they want Elon's power and stuff. They're gonna get like smoking with dilation in their eyes. And yes, I know. Usually when you tell people, yeah, don't do this, they're gonna end up doing it. So all I can pray, I gotta report what I have to report. Yeah, don't if you don't have to. I guess I've come upon this kind of conclusion before, kind of. You know, I'm saying, did the dilation give me autism? Because that would actually, now that I'm focused on this so much, yeah, the condition that you are when you get dilation is exactly how I'm feeling now. It's like you're always on. It's the same exact, but usually it subsides. But yeah, but it's not really. Maybe when I'm relaxed, I can, I'm used to it now. But it's like, that's exactly what it feels like to always be on. That's why it must have been why now it's past nearly, over a decade now I've been here, because it seems so fast. So you're on all the time. Everything seems to go by so fast. So if I was on all the time, it would go slow, but no. So I guess you might think it's a good thing, but I don't know. It's like that people thing. And they want to take the thing to make them normal. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. There's a whole new ballpark now with this psychic and telepathic ability. Alright. Well, okay. At least now I know. Now I know how to calibrate even more now. I can calibrate my conversations and even the way I interact with neurotypicals even more now. Now that I know what they can't see and perceive, it's like in speech class, know your audience. So now I know when I'm talking to them. Now I understand. Now I understand why my mom said, you talk too fast, and then why that guy at the resort said, you talk too fast. I think I don't know if these are the exact words they used. And then also that guy at the gas station who helped me out. He paid for my gas because I didn't have cash or something. I didn't have my credit card. He said he was also autistic while I was talking to him eventually. Eventually he revealed that. But I explained to him first I was autistic. He said, could you slow it down a bit or something? Wow. Yeah, but he's autistic. Oh, of course, with autistic, yeah, definitely have to be slowed. Definitely have to be slowed. Yeah, because of the sensor. Oh my gosh, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. That maybe this shows that maybe my mom does have some autistic thing. Same thing with that one guy at the resort. I think he was gay. He was the guy who did did some of the construction at the resort. He's in the book thing, the pamphlet that I gave you. It was in the Colorado resort. Yeah, he said he was in the hot tub. You talk too fast. And all this time I simply thought he was neurotypical. Neurotypical couldn't, but maybe that's it. The people who say that, they could be the ones who are autistic. Well, it's like that movie with the spoilers with the Sixth Sense at the end. They're autistic. Well, the guy said he was autistic, right, at the gas station. So the people who want you to slow down talking, that means mom is autistic, possibly has a significant amount of autistic in her. Huh. That would explain her not be so readily, that would explain why it's so challenging to talk to her and communicate with her. Yeah, and I say that guy was gay because, well, I said something, but it wasn't, I was trying to be gay. I really wasn't. I said, well, maybe, because he had mentioned something where it's like a father figure or something. But he wasn't trying to be gay, but I simply took that after maybe half an hour afterwards. I don't want to use that later word, I mean afterwards, but I took that afterwards, later, what I say, I took that later to mean after, but I took that afterwards as, okay, let's say afterwards as, you know, like, I was kind of kidding around, hey daddy, or something. I guess he perceived that as being some kind of daddy thing with a gay thing or something. I say that it's because when I got up, he followed me, and then this nice couple started to talk to him about something, so we stopped. I wasn't expecting him to follow me, but when I got up, it was something he must have thought I was some kind of like, not something like I was trying to give him like it was like, oh, let's go somewhere else, and you know, but no, I was simply leaving it. I stopped though when the couple stopped. He's following me, which is fine. I have no issues with that, you know. And I guess you could tell that he had read the conversation incorrectly. Because after the couple clocked in and stuff, I sat down on the bench because I was still, you know, enjoying myself, and everything was cool. So, but he left because he understood that he misunderstood. So, but yeah, in retrospect, yeah, he must have been autistic. That happens with autistics. There's a lot of misunderstanding between people, even among autistics. I guess I assume now. Now I say now because usually when I think, okay, we're autistic, we would be on the same wavelength. But talking about this now, yeah, this may be the first time I've actually consciously realized that autistics really can be like completely on a different wavelength. I always perceived like all of us who are atypical, that are on the spectrum, are on the same wavelength, but it appears we could actually be on a different wavelength. That's interesting. So we're on like different wavelengths, but still within a realm of wavelengths, still within a particular range. All right, I'm gonna take a rest. My brain is got a lot of glutamate, so I gotta eat. I gotta yeah, I'm good. Yeah, watch some non-psychic telepathic awareness perception awareness videos. All right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you, lady. What's your name? Yashunani. Cool.